like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture.
You got a picture me, send me calling, ready for war like Korea, headlining shows out in Poland, you should be cleaning my mansion. My peasant's disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to Dustin? Yeah, latex so much.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On first down, it's Newton. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin able to drop him for a loss of 4.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
23 yards on the tuck and run.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a 1st down on 3rd and long. And somehow he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
Yeah, if you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great. But no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the 1st down marker.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
They'll set up to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Back to throw here. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Mike Zimmer's made his decision, and that decision is to try and go for this thing on 4th down. Now they'll run it on the toss, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down, and that will force a turnover on downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Newton now on second down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Throwing on third down, Newton. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off. Actually,
pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is there something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Past the 20. And he finds a man with a crossing route. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Now back to throw. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
And they got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Carolina getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, Newton. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. Escapes the sack. Now he'll escape to his left. And he slings one that's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
On play action, they'll throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. 14 yards that time for number 14.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it. And
the Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 20. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points.
Well, there's no doubt that this offense was in desperate need of a quick answer, and they got it. 1 play, and they're right back in this game.
Because you got the sense if they stalled out here and then another score on the other side to make it a 3-score game, could have gotten ugly. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at the return.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Room to run past midfield, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
They'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Newton now to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 3rd down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken from just outside the 30. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 21-7. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. And another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is taken around the 12. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They'll try and throw for it here. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action here on 1st down. And this one complete right side to Funchess.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
shotgun snap for Newton. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Third and long, it's Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he missed it. It's no good. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He'll drop to throw. Lets it fly for Thielen. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. A big play there for Minnesota. 65 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they...
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this belongs to the Vikings.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after it.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Detroit! Gone!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It'll buy some time right toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Looking to throw. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Panthers have recovered. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles.
Mancy, keep getting after him a little bit and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball, because you're going after him.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. An even 90 yards. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important, too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Knocks it away, and it falls down incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Panthers have got it back to a 1-score game. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Powers through. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Now back to throw. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Well, Charles, you said it after the 4th down stop. That's almost guaranteed points the other way, and that comes to fruition with a touchdown.
Well, the unnecessary risk did come back to haunt him, didn't it? End up getting those points that I predicted that they were going to give up because it's guaranteed points if you don't make that play.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead now up to 14. Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the 4th quarter still to come. We're in the 3rd. Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball, because when you've got that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never like to save yardage.
You know he's tapping his quarterback on the shoulder. I'll take the ball again, please, right?
Not turning down any carries. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they'd have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Newton on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second in a bundle. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6, and now third down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throwing on third and long. Newton. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on third and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll set up to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. He'll look to throw. Able to push his way through. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Back to throw now on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to get him for his second sack of the night. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him a gain of 37. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the night. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he hits Herndon over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Carl Nassib in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll drop the throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Carl Nassib in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight. He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. And with that sack, partner, he just became the all-time NFL sack king.
So now the Mount Rushmore of sack artists has been added to. This man now goes to the head of the class. Carve out a new spot for him.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. He's going to loft one deep. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. As his guys are in for 6. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer.
Sometimes when I see these types of plays executed, I think of basketball. Guys boxing other guys off to go out and get a rebound.
And he got the rebound right there. But the defense was really placed well.
Yeah, they were right there. I mean, that's where it's really tough for a defender. When you're in the right spot, you're draped on the guy catching the ball, yet he still comes down with it.
4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now Herndon's got it complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for the Panthers. 44 yards. Now Newton on 1st down. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And they'll run it here. And a short gain down to about the 33. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Bailey now to kick this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. And the Panthers coming out now. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let some...
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. From the gun, here's Newton. And he's going to go down again. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing third and long. Out of the gun, Newton. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He gets away from one, escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on a... Gun! All right, now, lucky 56.
Back to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.